All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting my glasses cleaned here because I'm going full-blown college professor, Poindexter. Well, you guys know what I'm saying. Listen, Riot has entrusted in me to teach you guys how to play Valorant. And I can't really add up the numbers in my head why they thought this was a good idea, but I'm pretty excited about it because I'm serious when I say this. Valorant is probably my favorite game that I have ever played. It is so unique compared to anything that I've ever kind of dove into and tried to really grind. Call of Duty, there's certain aspects of it that you'll see similarities. Gears of War, Halo, these are all first-person shooters, but the unique difference between all of those games that I just listed in Valorant is that it's a tactical shooter, okay? There's probably very specific things that make a tac shooter what it is, but I don't have a fucking outline in front of me or a book, so I'm just going to tell you what I think makes it a tactical shooter. You got 5 players on each team, and it's just like Search and Destroy. You have a spike, you have bomb sites that you need to plant it at, and if you kill everybody on the other team, on offense or defense, before they plant the bomb or before they get it defused, you've got attack sided and defensive sided. 1 life every round. It's first to 13, and you guys are just battling to see who can have the most teamwork and who can play the game the most efficiently. So that's at a high level what Valorant is, but where Valorant really starts to peel back layers of strategy is when it comes down to the composition of the teams, because each team has 5 players like we talked about, but they all have agents that have very unique abilities that are only, unique to that one individual agent. So we're going to go from top to bottom, from the start of the game to the end of the game, to really get you guys comfortable with the idea of playing Valorant. And if you stick with me, whether it's on console, which is the focus today, or it's on PC, which is keyboard and mouse, which I've been primarily playing, you will walk away with a better understanding of how this game is played, and hopefully you'll get the itch just like I have with probably the most addictive game I've ever played because of the ranking system, the guns, the weapons, the customization that you get with the skin bundles, and just I get so addicted to this game, I can't think about anything else in my life. I got to slow down, regain, and then get back to my other responsibilities. But we need to get you guys there first. That part's not important. So let's begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start from the top. Now, the outline that I have that we presented to Riot jumps around quite a bit, and there's just no way for me to stick to an outline, guys. I am not a teacher, nor am I hardwired to be a good teacher in any capacity. So I'm going to do my best to not sound condescending at any moment or make you guys feel stupid. I think it's really, really the most important part about explaining what a tac shooter is to bring you guys to the range and the agent selection so that you guys can get a better idea and have like the foundational pieces of what Valorant actually is, okay? So first and foremost, we're just going to start with the different types of agents that you have, because that will really inform all the decisions that you make from here on out when you get into a game. Let's start with duelists. Now, Jett, by far and away, has been one of the most prevalent duelists in the entire game. If you watch competitive Valorant in VCT, where 100 Thieves competes, you'll notice that we have somebody like Cryo, who's really good with an AWP, which is the sniper rifle in this game. It's the most expensive. You've got it 4,700 credits. In the range, you're going to see 99,999 credits. The range is a great tool to go get warmed up and get ready for your games. Some of you guys might be thinking it's silly to warm up for a video game, but I promise you, if you care about your RR, which is the, the metric system for what ranks you up from, gold to platinum to diamond to ascendant to immortal and then all the way to radiant, you'll understand why the economy is so important. So when you look at Jett right here at the bottom of my screen, you can see some of her abilities. Every agent essentially has 4 abilities that they have at their disposal to use throughout the rounds to give themselves an advantage. That's why when we talked at the beginning of the video, your agent selection is really important, and it's an important piece of the puzzle that fits into the entire puzzle of hopefully your teammates picking agents that complement your abilities and how you will move as a unit, as a team, as you try to, navigate this game. So we've got a Cloudburst, an Updraft, and a Tailwind, and then you have her ult. Now, the Cloudburst is something that when I click my ability, it'll send a cloud out into the open area of the map, and wherever you point it, I can point it right, I can point it left. It's all about just holding the button and then sending it out. And what's great about Jett is that if I pop my Tailwind and then I throw this smoke, I can updraft and then dash into the smoke, and that's something that will allow my team to push in after me, and I'm essentially just creating space. A lot of people have a misunderstanding of what a duelist is actually supposed to do. More times than not, your duelist is going to hopefully be picking up kills when they enter the site. But their entire job is to basically get into the site, create space, allow for an opening for the rest of your teammates to get in. And, you know, while Jet is hitting site, you could have somebody like Sky. This is an initiator. An initiator is exactly what it sounds like. They basically initiate a hit onto the site. So to complement Jet's push while she's dashing on the site, hopefully dashing on the site, I pop my E here, which is basically a flash, and I can do the same thing. I can guide it right, I can guide it left, and whenever I want to, I can hit the same button to make that flash pop. And so what I can do while Jet is bursting out onto the site, I drop a flash here around the corner behind her, and I flash. So now anybody that was looking to kill the Jet has to deal with looking away from my... So if I throw a flash, pop it, if I'm looking away from it, I can turn quickly and I won't be flashed. And that's what the other team will have to do when that flash is coming out. Because they can hear the bird, they can hear it coming, and then they hear the flash. A lot of players are not good at looking away from these. And then, again, this is where the compositions of each agent get interesting. You'll have somebody like Brimstone. He'll be smoking off the main points of each entry, depending on what map and site that you're going to. Say that we're on Ascent right now. I'm going to smoke Tree. I'm going to smoke Heaven. I'm going to put these smokes down. And then my Jet is going to do hopefully exactly what I just showed you. My Sky is going to do exactly what I just showed you. And then we switch over to Cypher. And hopefully Cypher has a trip or flank. He can put down a tripwire, kind of like a Claymore that you guys have seen. And now if somebody walks through this trip, I'll be notified. The Cypher will be notified. If they destroy the trip by shooting it, I'll be notified. And that's right there. That's 4 agents that usually comprise a team. We had the duelist, we had the initiator, we had the smokes, we had the sentinel, which if you guys want to get deeper into each agent's bag, you could see a camera here. I can pop into it whenever I want, as long as the other team doesn't shoot it or destroy it. When I'm not in the camera, it's somewhat invisible. It's hard for the other team to see. Once I pop into it, it makes a noise. If this is at a bomb site, the other team will see it eventually and they'll shoot it, but I can also shoot the agent on the other team, and then it'll put a dart in their back. They got to remove that before they can really keep going, or they'll keep getting pinged. And then when you look at other agents, you know, now that we had a sentinel, smokes, an initiator with Sky, a duelist with Jet, depending on the map and what your composition is like, more times than not in ranked, you're going to see another duelist alongside Jet. Duelists are by far and away the most popular agents to choose from, just because they have a lot of tools in their kit to let them frag out. So a lot of times you'll see a Jet and a Reyna. I play a lot of Reyna. You pop your flash out, the other team can shoot it. If not, they're flashed. It's not like Sky where they're flashed for a moment. Until this eye is destroyed or until it goes away, they will basically not be able to see. So, pop my flash, I go in with Jet. Hopefully we got Sky flashing. You know, on Ascent, I used Sky as an example, but a lot of times you'll see a Sova, which is another initiator. And I'll show you this right here. Sova has a drone. He can fly up, fly into the site. Until this drone is shot, I can just try to shoot enemies. It'll ping them. At the same time, I can also throw this dart, and I can control how many bounces it'll take, and there's lineups that you can go practice with Sova, and this will ping all the enemies that potentially might be on site if it's thrown in the right place. So, you know, obviously I haven't gone through every agent available in the game, but this should give you a better idea of what type of agents are available at your disposal. So, like I said, we've got duelists, we've got a controller, which is smokes. I'm sorry for not using the official phrasing earlier. We've got initiators, we've got sentinels. Those are really the main components of a team composition that you really need to have a grasp for. Now, I think it would probably be tough for me to go through every single agent, but just know that all the, all the groups of agents that you have, generally speaking, try to accomplish the same goal. All right, gentlemen, so hopefully me running down the agents and the types of agents that there are kind of made sense. You know, this game sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. And since there's so many agents on the screen to choose from, it can be somewhat overwhelming. But I promise you, once you get a in the mix and are playing unrated, or you're playing ranked, or you're playing like team deathmatch to warm up your shot, team deathmatch, I think, is actually a really great tool for you to learn what all the agents do, because the games are like 4 to 5 to 6 minutes long. There's no rank attached to it, and you can really practice the abilities of the agents that you want to learn at the same time as practicing your shooting and your aiming, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Shooting is probably the hardest element of Valorant for new players to grasp, just because if you've never played a game like Counter-Strike or any game that you have to really focus on not moving while shooting and controlling your spray and being very, very precise, this can feel like you're a fish out of water. You're like one of these amphibians that just decided to evolve and sprout up legs, and you have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to take out the Vandal, which is probably the most used weapon in Valorant, besides maybe like a Ghost or a Sheriff. There's like 4 to 5 main guns that are used most rounds. If you look at the inventory right now, we'll get into gunplay and economy here soon, but for now, let's think about the Vandal, right? We've got 25 bullets in this clip. And if I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm in the range and I've got all these damn robots to shoot and all these damn players on the other team, you'd think that you want to just shoot them in the head and then just keep shooting and try to spray towards the other agents. Now, generally speaking, you can see I'm having a little bit of success here, which is concerning, to be honest with you. But that's because I have unlimited ammo and I'm just letting this damn Vandal sing. That is not what you want to do. Okay, gentlemen, that is the opposite of anything that is happening here in Valorant. We don't got an ACR in our hand that has no recoil. Our entire goal is, with the Vandal specifically, is to shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot, move. This game is really difficult to get a hang of, because when you see somebody on your screen, your first instinct is to just try everything you can to kill them. But when they're shooting back, just know that the same amount of difficulty that you have getting your crosshair on that enemy is the same amount of difficulty that they're going to have. And so if you're giving yourself a better chance by shooting, moving, and they call it kind of tap strafing. You probably heard that expression in other games like Apex, and they're different things, obviously, but similar lingo, similar vocabulary. Our entire goal is to shoot 1 or 2 bullets and then just stay on the move. You're just peppering with shots, and hopefully you're hitting headshots here. But this is a sort of like a rhythm that you need to find, and this is only going to be built through hours and hours of playing. All right, you're gonna have to resist as much as you can to spray. There are certainly situations where spraying is required. They call it a spray transfer when somebody's on your screen and then somebody else is right next to them. And hopefully that goes well. But for the most part, gentlemen, your secret here, the secret sauce, is to really learn and understand how to shoot and move and stay composed while you're trying to take out enemy opponents, man. It sounds pretty simple, but again, this is going to be built through hours and hours and hours of repetition. Now, when you go down the list of other guns, and this will start to play into the economy, you have pistols, you have submachine guns, you have shotguns, you have rifles, you have sniper rifles. Now, say I'm a jet, and I'm cracked out, and all I want to do is hit sight. You're going to probably see me buy Sheriff first round, where no matter what, this is basically a one-shot headshot. And why this is important in pistol round is because you don't have enough money when the game begins in the first round to buy full armor. A lot of times you'll see somebody buy light shields. They might keep their classic, which is completely free, and then they'll buy up all their abilities, or the ones that they can afford. That is what a lot of players will do. Now, the other half of players, they're probably split right down the middle. Will either buy a Ghost, 1 ability, or they'll buy a Sheriff, no ability. It really depends on who they are, how good they are, and what they think they're going to be able to do this round. I'm a big believer in the Sheriff. Sometimes it'll screw me over because I will miss shots. There's only 6 bullets in the clip. Pistol round is really nice to have a Ghost in your hand when you got 15 bullets, 1 headshot from depending on the range. All weapons, depending on the range, will do different types of damage. But a Ghost is like a very nice weapon because it gives you some firepower. You can still buy one other ability more times than not. And if you hit a headshot, depending on the range, like I said, could be a kill or
No charges left.
you know, you're making them weak, and damage is really important. Like, sometimes you're not going to be able to get kills, but if you lay down some damage, even though you died, your team is now going to have an easier time getting kills because everybody is weak on the other team. And again, this is where agent selection is really important because we go back to Skye, who was initiator. Not only can she throw flashes for her team, right, and flash everybody over here, but then her other ability that she could purchase is healing her team. Now, anybody in this circle can be healed, and if you have a Skye that knows what they're doing, a lot of times they'll buy a ghost, and then they'll buy heal. So even if you get weakened, and even if your teammates get weak, or you're weak, as long as your Skye's still alive, you can heal. And that's why every agent has these different abilities that are really, really important for everything that you're doing in-game. Let's go through a couple other guns, just so that you guys have a better understanding. A shorty is like, you'll see a duelist who buys an op as well. Sometimes they'll, especially on Jet, you won't see a lot of other agents besides Jet opping in high-level games, but that's because when I play as Jet, I have the ability to pop my dash, take a shot, and then dash away. And that allows me to take space. I can fight up at an A main, look for a shot, try to hit the shot, then dash out. Right? But, say we have a pretty good economy. We won a couple rounds in a row. Everybody's got cash. We all got credits. I'll have my op, and then I'll also buy this shorty, like I said, in case I'm hiding in my smoke, somebody comes into the smoke, and then I've got this shorty, which I'm telling you, bro, this gun is absolute piss. It's not going to do you any favors. It's really only for very specific situations. But for the most part, the pistols, you'll see the Ghost, you'll see the Classic or the Sheriff. For submachine guns, there is something called a force round. Normally, if it were the second round of the game and you just lost pistol round, you would be saving everything you can so that in the third round, which is considered the bonus for the other team,
you know, from the front.
In the second round, it's considered an eco round. Since they won pistol, they're going to be able to buy more guns. They're going to be able to upgrade. You'll see people buy Marshalls. You'll see people buy full armor with Spectres. You'll see people buy full armor with Stingers. And that is a dangerous situation for you if you're down 0-1 in the first round. So second round, you more or less, you want to save everything you can so that the third round, you can buy full armor, a Vandal or a Phantom, and you have a better chance at winning that next round, the third round, because the third round for the opposing team, while being up 2-0, they're not going to spend a lot of money. They're not going to upgrade their weapons because they basically are playing with house money. They've won 2 rounds in a row. I'm assuming that a couple of these guys haven't died in the second round, so they're bringing those guns over with to the third round. It carries over. If you don't die in the round with a weapon in your hand, you get to keep it moving on to the next round. And so that sounded pretty complicated, but when you get the flow of the game, it's pretty simple. But the reason why I bring up the Stinger and that 9-3 into a 10-3 situation is you're down by 7 rounds. It's going to be really hard to win this game, so you want to do something called forcing. You don't have a lot of money. You probably have around 2,000, 2,200 credits going into the second round. If you were down 1-0, this would be a time where you would save into the third round. But right now, shit's hitting the fan. We need a force and try to win a swing round so that these guys don't get rifles for the third round and we take them by surprise. So they'll buy Stinger, half armor, and this is something where you can kind of spray and pray, brother. This is the entire idea behind a Stinger is, yeah, you can stop and shoot, but the clip, it has a high fire rate. It's going to run out fast. And if somebody's got a damn Vandal in their hand, they decided to be really good second round, like a Jet or a Reyna or a Raze, and they had a lot of money, they got a bunch of kills in the first round, they're probably going to buy a Vandal. And so I'm going to play up close in like a very ratty position and just be a hard target to hit. And I'm moving around with this Stinger. That's what a force round is. And those are the options that you have in the second round. Now, in the third round, we skipped around here a little bit, but say I've got a Vandal. I'm going to buy full armor. Hopefully, I can buy all my abilities. If not, the golden ticket here, the golden rule, gentlemen, is for the credit system, if you have 3,300 credits going into the next round. So say it's the 4th round. We've been losing a little bit. We just had our gun round with the Vandals and the Phantoms. We lost that too. And I don't know why in this hypothetical we're losing so much, but we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy everything I can in this 4th round, but I'm only going to buy up until where it shows me, because it'll show you how many credits you'll have in the next round if you buy something. So say I buy like a sheriff, and now I still have 3,800 credits going into the next round. I can see that. Then I'll buy light shields. So now I've got 125 health. I've got a sheriff in my hand, and I'm just doing everything I can to hopefully do something impactful with this. But in general, gentlemen, what you really want to pay attention to when it comes to your economy, make sure you have 3,300 credits the next round. Now, I promise you, you do not want to spend the whole game just buying half armor and a Vandal. There are going to be rounds where you want to save completely so that you can buy a full kit, full armor, full Vandal. You know, if you're a Jet, you want to save up for this op. But, again, these are things that you'll learn as you continue to play the game. All right, gentlemen. Now, for this next segment, I'm going to load us into a custom game. All right, because we talked a little bit about maps, agents, shooting, economy. But the other part about Valorant that is very interesting from a map design perspective is that there are a lot of maps that have 2 bomb sites. You know, you have Ascent, you have Icebox, you have Split, you have Bind. There's a lot of maps that have like a standard A and B site. But then they throw in these curveballs where we're playing on Haven right now. There are, count them, 1, 2, and 3 bomb sites. Now, this is why, you know, maps like this are the reason why, you know, having a variety of compositions available to you are really, really important. You know, it's like, I'll give you this is the best example I can give you. Sentinels are all about, on defense, locking down bomb sites, right? You could be Killjoy, where she has alarm bots that I could place in garage right here. I can put a turret right here. I can put a lot of people actually put like a turret right here, okay? So if somebody walks in a garage door, no matter what, we're going to hear it or know about it. They're either going to get shot by the turret and then destroy it, or they're going to duck back out because they don't want to deal with Killjoy. So say you have your turret right here, and then you have an alarm bot in the window. So if they destroy the turret and they wanted to skill towards our spawn, they still got to get through an alarm bot, right? And then, as Killjoy, you can also put mollies, which she can detonate herself. Say you put one right here, and then you put one at the base of C bomb site. Now, just with one agent alone, Killjoy, she can control so much of the map so that her teammates can play B and play A and deal with whatever type of push the other team has concocted in their strategy on offense. So, you know, it's hard for me to tell you guys, yo, listen, I need you to sit in ranked, and you need to sit back and watch other people on your team lock agents, because a lot of times what will happen, it's like damn piranhas in the ocean, and somebody just put a drop of blood in there, which was the Q popping, and now you've got agent select. These guys will rapidly, and I mean quicker than you'll ever see anybody move in their entire life. Everybody will start locking duelists. Now, it's a little harder to have a comprehensive agent lineup with random players if you're in solo queue or if you're duoing with one of your friends. A lot of times, man, you know, people at lower ranks, they don't really understand all the things I'm explaining to you because they're new to the game. So if you wanted to climb your rank, you either got to be a shooter and you can't miss and run a duelist. And I actually think that running a sentinel would be a great way to climb, because no matter what your teammates are doing or how good or bad they are, if I'm running Cypher or Killjoy or Deadlock, who can place like a wall at the base of C site, she can have her trap set up in garage where if they don't slow walk past it and they move around fast like this, it'll alert you, it'll hit them with a trap, and then they got to take some damn thing off, they get stunned. I mean, there's a lot of variety when it comes to sentinels, but that's why agents, again, you know, not to sound like a broken record, are so important, especially on maps like Haven or Lotus, where you have 3 bomb sites and there's a lot of coverage that you need to have on the map. And so, listen, you guys have played Search and Destroy before. A lot, if you have from past games that aren't Valorant, you'll understand, bro, as the game builds and time goes on in that game, you can pick up a pattern of what the other team likes to do. A lot of times you'll play teams that if something's working well, like say they're all 5 hitting a bomb site, they'll continue to do it. You know, they're not going to stop. They're just going to go, 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 go. So it's really, 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 really important that you just play the game, get reps in, and understand that all the maps are very different from each other. And there are bomb sites that are hotspots that players and teams like to go to more frequently. And as you play the game and as you progress through your Valorant career, you'll get better and better and better at learning what the other team is going to do and how you need to set up on the map to ensure success for your team and for yourself as you're trying to get kills and trying to climb the ranks. All right, gentlemen, so we talked about the maps, we talked about the agents, we talked about the shooting, we've talked about all the things that make Valorant what it is. But now we're going to talk about the game modes that you can play, because really there's only one game mode that will drive you insane. And I'm just going to be honest with you, because you're now playing with 4 other random people on your team if you're solo queuing, and I really care about my ranking games, and that's what makes it so much fun, but also so frustrating, which is the competitive game mode. This is where you get a rank assigned to you. You got to go through placement matches to get your footing. You're probably going to start very low, and you're going to want to climb high, and this is something that will take weeks and months, but it is probably the most rewarding gaming experience I've ever had, going from nothing to something in Valorant, because the key is to push through the beginning stages of this game and learning how to play attack shooter like Valorant, because once you start to, you know, hone in on some skill sets and you start shooting straighter and you're making more of an impact on the map, you're getting more kills and eliminations. This game is just, there is nothing like it. You know, I do this quite a bit on stream, but I'm going to do it again for any of my boys that play golf. I genuinely think that Valorant is like a one-to-one, apples-to-apples comparison to golf. You know, the highs are super high, but the lows are super low. You could go from one day dropping 30 kills a game, you're the match MVP, and you win every single damn game you play. That's like, you know, not losing a ball off the tee when you go out to play with your buddies. You play 18 holes. You're draining every single putt. Your irons are great. The ball striking has been great all day. And then you're going to show up after shooting a 79 yesterday, and you're not even going to be able to hit the golf ball the next day, bro. You got a 40-yard block. You're slicing it out of bounds. You're shanking your irons. Everything is going wrong. You're chunking your wedges. You're 3-putting everything, and you just shot a 95, and you're ready to never play this thing again. That's what Valorant is like. I don't mean to scare you, but like for me, I like to take big swings in my life. So the highs are super high, the lows are super low. I understand that. And it's all about chasing dopamine. And that's what the competitive playlist is for. The grinding as hard as you can, you know, trying to win every single game and just trying to see this beautiful rank next to your name get higher and higher and higher, inevitably hit Radiant. I've still never done that myself, but I'm looking forward to trying, and that's what's so rewarding about the game. Then you have 2 game modes that are pretty similar to each other. You have unrated and swift play. Unrated is exactly set up the same as competitive, but there's no rank attached to it, so the stakes aren't as high. This is a great opportunity to go practice, understand the economy system better, and really get a flow of what these games are going to be like, which I really suggest you do before you jump into competitive. And you got to just think about you're sharpening the blade, man. You're just learning, and these are like when you go to the golf course and you don't really you don't care about keeping score, and you're just trying to have some fun and enjoy your day. Then you have swift play. Swift play is like a short burst of unrated and competitive. It's not, you know, a regular game of Valorant can, you know, last like 45 minutes sometimes, depending if, you know, how you win the game. It's like if you win 13-2 and it's an absolute blowout, that's probably going to be around like 25 minutes. You know, if you go to overtime and you go like 15-13, that game was probably like 45 minutes, even up to 50 minutes. Swift play basically removes all of that. The economy system is a little different. You know, by the second round, you'll be able to buy guns completely. You don't have to worry about saving your money and playing the game strategically from an economy standpoint. These are shorter games of Valorant with a simplified economy. You plant, defuse, or eliminate the enemy team to win. First to 5 wins. It's very short. It's very condensed, and you'll get everything you want out of it and more. Another great game mode to practice. The next 2 game modes that I'm going to talk about are probably the most that you should be playing when you're not playing ranked. These are modes that are specifically to learn the maps that you're playing, and then alternatively just practice shooting. You know, let's start with deathmatch. Deathmatch is what most professional players use to warm up. You're playing on the maps that are in rotation for rank play. So there's an abundance of maps in Valorant, but only like 4 or 5 of them are used in the different acts and episodes of rank play. So some of my favorite maps are actually Breeze, Split, Pearl. None of those maps are actually used right now in the ranked rotation. Every single act, they'll take some maps, take them and put them to the side. Sometimes that'll be to improve those maps by, you know, modifying the bomb sites a little differently, you know, removing some objects or certain parts of the map and then adding something new in. Like Icebox, for instance, that is in ranked play right now. They have now, you know, tabled that map like 2 or 3 different times to go into the map editor, change it around, and hopefully it flows a little bit better than it was before. So Deathmatch, you're only playing on the maps that are in the ranked rotation. And these are great to warm up your shot, try to feel loose and really prepare for your day of ranked games. But it's also really valuable because you get to practice crosshair placement. That is one thing that I haven't talked about in this video yet, which hopefully maybe as you play more, you'll understand what I mean when I say this. Crosshair placement is really, really important. It's probably actually one of the most important aspects of Valorant, and it's kind of damning that I haven't said or talked about it at all. In an attack shooter like Valorant, you're always anticipating where the enemy is going to be. So as you're navigating the map and moving around each bomb site, each corner, you always want to have your crosshair where somebody could potentially be. So say I'm going B on Icebox. As I get past the initial entrance of B, I want to clear this corner to my right because somebody at the beginning of the round could have snuck in. If I don't have an initiator on my team that droned it with Sova or dogged it with Sky or used a fade reveal to make sure and clear those corners for me, I have to clear these corners, and every corner if I'm a duelist going in first. So I'm strafing out, I'm aiming right, I cleared this corner, and I'm always having my crosshair at headshot level so that nothing can take me by surprise. And if somebody inevitably is in that corner, I'll be ready to shoot them and hopefully hit the shot. And crosshair placement, I promise you guys, that's why deathmatch is so valuable, because you're playing the maps that you're playing in ranked, and you're just going around each angle, always at headshot level, ready to take the shot if need be. Now, again, this game is all about feel and map knowledge and awareness, staring at the mini-map like you do in Search and Destroy and Call of Duty, and really having all the information at your disposal so that you can make decisions. Is like, oh, I don't need to clear this corner. I know for a fact nobody can be there. But even if there's like a smallest inkling of the idea that somebody could be playing this corner, you always want to clear it and strafe around the corner efficiently. So deathmatch is great because you get to learn what headshot level is for every, you know, bomb site, every part of the map. So deathmatch, if I'm a new player, I'm running this into the ground. I'm playing like 10 death matches a day just to get comfortable for all the angles at headshot level that I'm going to encounter when I play ranked. Now, TDM is probably my favorite game mode just because I feel like while I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, this is the hardest part for me when playing Valorant is hitting my shots. Like, while I'm playing on console, I probably would not spend as much time on Team Deathmatch because I know how to aim with analog sticks for the most part. I don't want to hear it if you guys disagree. But for anybody that, you know, isn't that comfortable on a controller and they want to play console Valorant, Team Deathmatch is great for you to learn how to shoot properly. These are maps that are not used anywhere else in Valorant. It's specifically for this game mode. You play up to 100. They're short burst games. You're probably in there for 5-6 minutes. And that is really all about, you know, learning how to move properly and practicing your aim. This is like, Team Deathmatch is super addictive to me because it's so hard for me to aim on keyboard, mouse. But that's not important for you guys because we're focusing primarily on console. And then you can run custom games if you'd like to. These are for, you know, your boys' late night Discord calls. You could set up the rules however you want. You could set up the economy however you want. You really have all the tools at your disposal to make that experience whatever you want it to be. And that is a rundown of all the game modes in Valorant. All right, gentlemen. I know I threw a lot of information at you in this video, but that's why I love Valorant, because the game has a ton of depth. You know, even though that the maps and the game modes can be pretty repetitive, no round ever feels the same to me. No game ever feels the same to me. You know, you have so many variables, the different type of compositions and agents that people select on each team, the different maps that you play. No one round is exactly the same, and you're always waiting on this golf comparison again, hitting a flush iron or driving the green on a par R4 on a short one. You're just waiting on these moments where all your boys can celebrate and you could feel very good about the performance that you had in that specific round. And so that's why it's so addictive to me. If you can really take the time to learn how to play this game, I promise you, you will never have a more rewarding gaming experience. And I genuinely believe that. You know, one of the things that I haven't even talked about is the customization and the audio in this game. Like every single skin that you buy from the store or earn through the battle pass, they all have like a different sound to the audio when you get a headshot, when you inspect the weapon. They all have different colors and animations, and the finishers. If you get the last kill with this specific gun from this bundle, you know, you'll have an entire stadium around you holographically, and everybody in the server can see it, that you're like the best in the lobby right now in that moment. I mean, there's so many aspects of this game that just scratch different parts of my brain that just make it so much fun, and I hopefully explain it well enough to where you guys can play this game or start playing it and hopefully feel the joy that I feel when I play Valorant. So I know as a 31-year-old man, some of that can sound pretty nerdy, but you know, we're all playing video games. You clicked on the video, you're in the same boat as me, so we got to be proud of the games that we play. And you know, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but Valorant is by far and away probably my favorite game I've ever played, and I hope this video was helpful in getting your feet wet, or even if you have played a little bit, maybe it'll bring you back to the game, or maybe, you know, you just like to watch my videos and I gave terrible advice, you're a better player than me, and you think I'm a moron. There's a lot of different things that could have happened when you watch this video, but guys, subscribe to the channel if you want more Valorant gameplay. Go check out my Twitch channel if you guys want to watch more Valorant. I've been addicted to this game until Black Ops 6 comes out. I'm going to be running it down in ranked, trying to hit Radiant, and if you guys want to download the game, I just forgot to explain to you guys the entirety of the best part about Valorant. It's free to play. You know, there's expensive skins, the store can be pretty expensive, but at the end of the day, the game itself is completely free, and you can go download it right now, whether it's on console, keyboard, mouse. You know, I think on console we're in beta right now, but the full release is coming. Thank you so much to Riot Games for allowing me to take some time to try to explain why this game is so great. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you guys check out more of me playing Valorant, whether it's on stream or this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and YouTube, we'll see you fudging later. Goodbye.